and the author of that iconic guitar riff we hear at the very beginning, and it goes throughout the song, joins us today as a founding member of the Kinks. He helped to create one of the finest catalogs of rock and roll on the planet. And Dave Davies is back with a brand new album. This one recorded in a professional partnership with his son, Russ. The new CD is called Open Road, and it's out on Red River Entertainment. And we'll have some tickets to see Mr. Davies perform at the City Winery in New York City this coming Tuesday. It's, of course, a great honor to welcome Dave Davies to the program today. And I hope you don't mind, sir, but before we get into the new album, I have a couple of Kinks-related questions for you.
Sure, cool.
Well, I mentioned those upcoming shows in New York City, and I wanted to go back to the first time that you and the rest of the Kinks came here to the U.S., and particularly your experiences in New York City. And I know that there was some trouble there, and then you didn't come back for a number of years after that.
Well, we were banned from touring states from 66 to 69, I think. And, we left in 66 to Screaming Girls and chasing limousines down 6th Avenue or whatever.
Right.
And then in those 3 years, because of the Vietnam War, we came back to a very depressed youth in America.
Right.
And the drug culture and the terrible Vietnam War, and that really changed consciousness of Americans, or the consciousness of the world in a way. But it's a very different America to what it was 3 years prior to it. But we always had really hardcore following, and I think a lot of Americans, especially in New York and Boston especially, they had a kind of fondness for our English quirkiness or point of view. So it was good we had that. I think it really helped us a lot. We always tried to put humour in our music, and I think that's what's helped the Kinks' career. That humor element.
I'm going to put you on the spot here for a moment and ask you about a Kinks song that's relatively obscure, but it's one of my favorites. In fact, you sing lead on it, and it's called Party Line.
Oh, God, yeah. It's a long time ago, but that's one of the Kinks' quirky songs that Ray wrote about someone having to cross lines.
Right.
Which is a funny idea, and I think, it's amusing. Of course, there's always been, even in more serious albums like Arthur, which is one of my favorite albums, there's highly emotional themes, Young and Innocent Days, and songs like that are really anti-war songs.
Right.
But at the same time, there's funny little cameo songs about, that she wore a hat like Princess Marina, and about the quirkiness of English middle classes. It's lots of things. Kinks music, it's emotional, it's happy, it's sad, it's funny, I hope.
We're talking to Dave Davies of the Kinks today on the Vintage Rock and Pop Shop, and he'll be performing at the City Winery this coming Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll have tickets for the Tuesday show in just a bit. And I don't mean to belabor this humor point, but just out of curiosity, what would be your favorite comedy shows?
Well, I've got a few. I mean, I like Seinfeld. Is it Seinfeld?
Yeah, Seinfeld, sure.
Yeah, I love that. I like some of the old BBC, Monty Python
right.
series they had in the 60s and 70s. They were really inspiring and extremely funny. And and I was a big, you probably know this comedian here. I met a few people that do. But there was a comedian in England in the late 50s, early 60s, called Tony Hancock.
Sure.
Oh, great! I loved him. I thought he was a quiet genius. I think he was very grumpy, and his view of life was a bit, sometimes disturbing. And in his weird despair he had about life, and he had kind of like a dark optimism about the world, a pathos he had.
Yeah.
It's about real life. It's funny, and it takes you by surprise and get disappointed. And,
I think his show was Hancock's Half Hour, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was it.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. That's cool.
I'm an Anglophile, so
that's excellent.
I've been
great.
grew up listening to the Goon Show and
Goons,
all the old
because the Goons is inspired Monty Python.
Yeah, I'm one of the few people, I suppose, in the States that walks around with like the voices of Blue Bottle and Eccles in my head because I heard them so much as a kid.
Yeah, I mean, Peter Sellers was wonderful.
Yeah.
And one of my all-time favorite movies is that last film he made.
Oh, Being There. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
What an incredible story, what incredible concept. And Peter Sellers slotted into that personality.
Yeah.
So perfectly. It could have been written for him.
That was a solo single released by our guest today, Dave Davies, nearly 50 years ago. Death of a Clown from July of 1967. And that song will help us segue into talking about his new album called Open Road, made with his son Russ. And from what I understand, Russ has taken a different musical direction than you have.
Yeah, he comes from a different background of music, electronic music, and there's obviously a lot of common ground in our writing and our work, although totally different areas of expression. There's common ground with philosophical ideas and trying new things out, experimenting, and obviously it's very familiar with my work.
Sure.
The Kinks, so it's something he wanted to collaborate on, and I love working with him. And he produced the album, and he helped pull it all together.
So it wasn't a case where you had written a song and maybe he finished it off or produced it. I mean, this is a true collaboration.
Oh, yeah. I mean, from the first track right through to the last track. And it's like on The Path Is Long, one of the first things he wrote was, You and I, we need to trust. And that kind of hooked me, and I thought, love and trust and respect you have for someone can really open up a lot of creative ideas and put you in some kind of safety zone for working. So it's definitely an inspiring person to work with, son or not.
I know you love working with him, and you've worked with him before. In fact, I've noticed that over the past, 5 years or so, you've been more active in recording solo material than ever before.
Right. Sometimes the older you get, the more ideas you get. Well, I do anyway, and I think when you can relax a bit more and take on board what's going on in your life and the world around you, I think, when you get older, you sometimes can be more objective or more relaxed about life and see it in different light.
Right.
So, and I'm going through a good creative time at the moment, and obviously working with my son Russ, it was very uplifting and inspiring. He's got wonderful talent, and I hope it rubbed off on me and we've helped each other with it all.
Well, I would think that some of your talent rubbed off on him, too.
I hope so.
Well, again, I want to thank you so much for coming on, and the album is Open Road. It's out now on Sony, really. It's what it is.
Yeah, Red River Entertainment, which is a wing of Sony.
Where would people go to get all the information about your upcoming shows?
Well, Facebook obviously is a big area of activity these days for everybody. So, yeah, Facebook is probably the quickest and best way to reach out. And Twitter, of course, and Instagram, davedavis.com. So all the information is there. But Facebook is really a good way of getting information out these days.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to play a song from the new album, Open Road, by our guest today, Dave Davies, along with his son, Russ. And we're going to play the song Sleep on It, but you don't have to sleep on it, because if you were thinking about going to see Dave Davies at the City Winery this coming Tuesday, I've got a pair of tickets that we'll give out right now. I'll take a random caller. Sir, it's been a pleasure and an honor to speak with you, and I wish you all the best and have a great rest of your day.
Well, thank you very much.